Uh, yeah, we are live.
Oh, we're alive! Oh my god!
We are live. Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Wait, let me open up chat. Holy shit. We went live way quicker than I. Wait, go, go.
So we are
Chat.
fresh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a different shirt for once. It's a special occasion, guys.
It's truly a special occasion.
Yes, I
Hello,
found it. Yes, hello, guys. Hello, everybody.
hello, whoever's watching this. Uh,
One person in chat. Hi, guys.
hello.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah. Today we will be talking about Radhe Shyam, the recent
Yes.
big movie, and
Yep.
we both watched it. And what are your initial?
Oh, can you share your OBS so I can see it as well?
Okay.
We'll be like conversing anyway, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're not going to play a game or nothing in the background because when we did that for the Batman stream, we got copyright claimed on the game music.
We got
So we
copyright claimed, and in general, the discussion we were sort of going all over the
rambling
place.
around. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was
So
beating up criminals. I was reading chat and talking about my opinion. Not very nice
yeah.
discussion. Is my
So
camera stuck?
oh yeah, wait.
Okay.
Okay, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
So we decided to let go of all that shit and just show our beautiful faces with nothing else but
And
these toilet papers falling.
papers falling over.
Yeah. And
And
I
they will
fixed the
mysteriously
loop.
clear out. Oh, you did? Okay. What did you do? You rendered like an R version of it. Or you just cut it to like a different frame.
Basically, okay, I cut it. I put a cross dissolve in the middle, and it
Hmm.
doesn't really show up in the stream. If
Okay,
you
the
can
cross is
still
up.
see where it's ending, then
Then
cool.
too bad.
Yes. Yeah. So, anyways, we were supposed to be
Discussing.
discussing
Radhe
Radhesham.
Shyam. Yeah.
We both saw it last week. I had
Yeah.
a more interesting experience. Basically,
Hmm.
I live in Andhra Pradesh, so our tickets were not open like normally they do. Like it has been happening for like the past 2 3 big movies, Pushpa and Bhimla Nayak, because there's this whole shit going on with the ticket prices. They're always looking for the ticket prices to go up. So for these big movies, and it ends up not happening, so they're like, oh fuck it, and they're like literally few hours before the movie they open tickets, and mostly they're just like blocking it and selling it in black. And
Hmm.
surprisingly, I got tickets for Pushpa and Bhimla Nayak somehow, but Radhesham I just couldn't get anything because like they
Hmm.
were opening it already. Everything was booked. There was like maybe the one Inox or something that had few tickets, so that also they were fighting for like the
Hmm.
last two, like the most front rows also they were fighting, and very
Hmm.
very bad. And yeah, I couldn't get it, so I was like, I told you to go watch it. But in the morning after I uh, went and dropped my mom, I was like, yeah, I'll just try and see if there are any tickets, because clearly they want you to go buy the, offline tickets. And there was a show at 11, and I was like, okay, I'll go buy the black ticket version of for 11
Hmm.
o'clock. But like literally I show up there, outside there were 2 3 people selling black tickets
Hmm.
for the fan show. And
Yeah.
that was happening literally right then.
Hmm.
And they said 260 or something, and the original price was 145. I was like, fuck it, I was take it.
Hmm.
And I went in, and yeah, it was the movie already started like I think 5 or like
Yeah,
the
you
base
missed like
the
10 minutes
first,
of it.
yeah. And
Yeah.
like the first song happened and all that, and I went in, and firstly they made me a fool with one thing where they said it's B15, and I was like,
Hmm.
B15 fan show, just a few minutes, this is a good
Hmm.
deal, and I took it. But it was R15. And they
Yeah.
and the B, it looked like B, and I was sitting there for like at least 20 30 minutes, and the actual guy came, and I was like, oh.
Hmm.
And the ticket guy said R, and I was like, I got I was a fool now, and I had to go
Hmm.
down. And then I saw like a bunch of proper fanboys. They like, I tried to ask them like, hey bro, this is my seat. They were like, bro, no bro, Prabhas fan bro, come on bro, something. And I was
Yeah.
like, bro, I paid 300 or something. And he said, bro, we paid 700, bro. What do you mean?
Yeah.
And then I sat next to him, and like they clearly were, there was like one extra guy or something who was sitting in my place, and they gave me a seat, and the guy who was sitting in my place just sat on his friend's lap and he started enjoying the movie. That's how
Mm.
we saw the entire movie, which was like very weird. And the guy to the left of me, he kept
Mm.
yelling "Pooja, Pooja" throughout the movie
Cooler.
at random points, bro. Like it was not like she was not even there on the in this on the shot in the shot, and he just kept yelling
Mm.
"Pooja." No, like it's so it was so interesting. Like it was so sad to see them because like they clearly wanted like a fun hype movie. Like they want
Mm.
and this turned out to be like a very like proper romance
A
thing,
very
and they
like
were just
yeah.
yelling at whatever. Like wow, a song is happening. Oh, he's walking. Yell. They
Yeah.
wanted to enjoy and they were trying so hard for it, and it was very
Mm.
interesting experience. It definitely made the movie a little more bearable than
Mm.
less boring, I guess, than it would have been if I just watched it normally. And yeah, what was your
Yeah.
experience?
My experience was I woke up late. I panicked. I was like, oh no, I need to catch this movie. It's very important. I watched this movie. We
Mm.
need to review it. Blah, blah, blah. He said he couldn't get a ticket. And I made it on time
Mm.
and made it barely on time. I was sitting with everybody and that's about it. I had the same, like, oh my God, Prabhas is on screen. Never mind the fact that all he's doing is reading palms. It's Prabhas, guys. He's so hype. Whoa.
Mm.
And that's about it. There were people screaming when Pooja Hegde came on screen. There were people screaming when Prabhas did anything on screen. I think towards the end, there was a nice like filtration process that happened where at the start there were a lot of people who were like, "Yeah, Radhe Shyam, let's
Mm-hmm.
go." And towards the end, I realized the true fans of this movie, the people who genuinely like this movie, they were in the bottom left of this theater.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's where I heard consistent cheers from whenever like anything happened. They're like, "Yeah, boy, yeah,
Mm.
he did it!" Rah, rah."
Mm.
And that was it. I think I was just bored to tears throughout the movie. It was very, very painful. I don't like romance movies that much, and
Mm.
this was. And is it actually 2 hours 10 minutes?
It is 2 hours and months.
This is
Like
a lie. This is a lie.
I,
This is a lie.
I could say that because I definitely felt like that is the only like that is one of the good things about the movie. Even though I wasn't enjoying it, it fairly got finished quickly. I was like, oh wow, it's done. Because I can say that because I went at 8 o'clock and I was back in my place at around 10:30 or something. So it is definitely 2 or 10 minutes or something like
Okay.
that.
Oh, Amro is here. Hello, Pa.
Hello,
Hello.
hello, and
And no, it's not. That was one of the reasons I was kind of like, hey, it's only 2 hours 10 minutes. I'll
mm,
get back home really quickly. And it wasn't. It was longer. When it was done, I knew it was at least 3 hours, at least. So long and painful. Oh
uh,
my God.
I
Oh, hi, Sana. Hello. Yeah, you're saying.
yeah, like I think the movie, like the hype that they built up before the movie was we both didn't like the trailers and the teasers and all, and we were both expecting something bad. But
Hmm.
just before a week, I started to become very positive. I was like, maybe this might be decent. Like, why am I
Yeah.
being like, maybe it's just a bad trailer. Even Pushpa had sort of a bad trailer, and it turned
Hmm.
out to be great. This might be one of those things. And I was,
Hmm.
and more than that, it was just like, oh,
Hmm.
they're like he's such a big
Hmm.
pan Indian star and all that now, but he's still
Hmm.
making a proper genre like romance thing. Like maybe this
Hmm.
might be good. Maybe they might actually make like a good romance movie at least. I was very that
Yeah.
was very bad assumption. I think my early assumptions were turned out to be pretty much true. I think the only thing that I felt different was that they at least had a base conflict of the movie that
Hmm.
could work maybe. Other than that, a lot of the movie is like it's
Hmm.
fine.
Yeah, it's not fun. Oh, hi, Amro. There.
Oh, what happened there?
You wanted an enthusiastic hello.
Hello.
Yeah, that's it. You're not getting anything else. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think why I was so down on it. I
Mm.
mean, You can check out the review. I went, and when it started, I thought, okay, it's very boring. It's the same, like, oh, guys, we need to set up the hero in some cool way. How do we do it? These scientists, man, they're going to sit down and talk to this, like, Josier. They're like, we need to know what is an auspicious day to open up. And out of nowhere, the Josier goes, like, there's this guy. He's the coolest guy in the history of all guys. He's the best.
Mm.
Where is he now? He left India, and they just hard cut to Prabhas like diving out of a plane. No, not diving out of a plane. He sees like some hot like Russian chick. He's like,
Mm.
"Would you like to do a flirtationship with me?" And
Oh, that's the first line in the movie? Like,
no,
of
that's not the first line. No,
like,
that's not the first
like
line.
that's
He says, "I love you" or some shit like that, some very cliche shit. Then he says like, "Would you like to do a flirtationship?" and all that. And
firstly,
that's what you
big
missed out
problem
on.
with that term, bro. Flirtationship. It sounds so gay, like instantly so like boomer.
It sounds like something Chetan Bhagat came up with, like sequel to Half Girlfriend. You know.
Yeah, like it's just a casual relationship, right? It's like fling. Like call any of those. No, you'll call it flirtationship because it's not relation. We are just doing flirtations. It sounds so stupid.
Yeah, and that's where I think that's why I kept telling you, like, if they spent the budget of the movie on this one fucking song, I'd be mad. Because for the rest of the movie, I didn't see that budget. I just saw nice sets till that like end like big ship shit, right? For most of the movie, it's very pretty sets. In this one sequence, I was like, okay, they did go to location. They did like do all this, I guess. Fine, whatever. She says like, what's his name? Vikramaditya.
Vikramaditya.
Yeah, he was like, Vikram, I love you. In that very like typical stilted, I'm a Russian foreigner,
I am foreigner.
tourist. Yeah.
Like she probably
Vikram
speaks
Aditya.
normally, but like to make her look more foreigner.
Yeah.
Vikramaditya, Allah.
I, I love you. And then he stops the car, he gets out and he walks away. He says, like, I don't have love line. And he leaves. And I thought, okay, that's fine. And that's where the movie started for you, which is when he wakes up in bed and
For
he's
me, the movie started there, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool that they started this movie with a very simple introduction." Which is
no.
very wrong.
Very wrong. No.
Uh,
In fact, how they introduce him is not like showing him in Italy and stuff. How they introduce him is they show him reading Indira Gandhi's palm, and it zooms in on the palm, and you can see the shapes of the palm sort of transform, like morph effect with fire, like solar flares into the riots, basically. Black and white footage of the riots. And he tells her like horrible things will happen, some shit very foreboding, and he leaves. And after that, movie starts out proper. Like, mother, I am traveling because if I was here, you would not do housework. You would be distracted by me. I am Prabhas.
yeah, I think the biggest problem in this romance movie is that you
The
don't
romance.
you don't feel the relationship in any way. The dialogue is so stilted. They're always talking in like this very weirdly poetic dumb shit, like, yeah, I don't have a love line, but I am, how I can flirtationship, and like it's so it's just kind of bad lines. And beyond that,
It's not just bad lines. I feel like they didn't write enough. Like,
yeah.
you can make this a goddamn short film. If I'm not being super hyperbolic, I'll say you can make it like an hour and a half.
I think
There is not enough script to go around this, dude.
Yeah,
There's not enough story.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like in general, this is one of the problems I have with like a lot of Indian movies. Whenever it comes to romance, they never write romance. They just like they just write like an introduction, like when they meet each other, see each other, and then they write insert romance song by music director, man. And you are supposed to feel things because there's a like love song happening.
Yeah.
It's not like they write the montage in a way that you get something out of it. It's very like just like standard like cute things or something, and you're supposed to be like, now I understand.
Oh, yeah.
There's not
There's
a
all
scene
this
in the
code.
there's no conversation in the movie where you feel like
See them like falling for each other.
falling for each other, doing the flirtationships and all that.
Yeah.
They're always just, it's just so, it also feels like they cut through a lot of the movie to make it shorter. Maybe this might be the Saho effect, because that was way too long and people didn't like it, because a lot of the like the character actors they got were fairly big, and it makes no sense for them to like cast them for like no dialogue parts. And we know that they
Yeah,
deleted a lot because there were scenes from the trailer
in the
that was
trailer.
not there
Yep.
in the movie, and that's
18
so
years of script and bad dialogues. Yeah, I know. It took 18 years. 18
yeah.
years. 18 years. 18 years.
It's
Oh
like
my god.
yeah, I don't think he wrote it for 18 years. He said like he had the idea of it 18 years ago,
18 years.
something like the
Uh,
best conflict, something like that, like the whole destiny thing, I guess. But
mm,
yeah, it's
18 years. 18 years.
okay.
20. See, even if he didn't write all these 18 years, right?
Mm,
If you left the idea, if you got this 18 years back,
mm,
20 years later, you will fucking rewrite the crap out of it. Like, you write any story, like, just like creative writing in general, you
mm,
leave that alone for any amount of time, you disconnect yourself, and you get back to it, you will rip it to shreds and make it new completely.
mm.
18 years later, you still were like, yes, I will
I
take a
think
middle
maybe he
ground.
had I don't I think it's one of those things where he said something like, oh, I had this type of idea 18 years ago, and everyone just wrote like, oh, he wrote the
Like,
script for
18
18
years,
years.
18 years, he just wrote it.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think he also sort of clarified it a few times where people asked him, and he's like, yeah, no, I actually had the idea, this type of like the theme or something, and then he after like I think he wrote it like 4 or 5 years back or something, and they shot it for
Probably.
2 3 years and all that.
Oh, Chaitanya Vadaji. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name, my dude. Which is the next movie you are going to review? RRR.
Yeah.
What's the
Sorry,
next
I
one?
think
I
I'm
just
up.
no, I just said that in instinct.
Yeah, I think RRR seems to. Do you want to watch Bachchan Pandey,
Oh my
uh,
god, yeah,
the fucking
Bachchan Pandey.
the
Yeah, the
Jigarthanda
remake. Heck
remake?
yeah, definitely, dude.
That
We'll
sounds
go watch.
so cancer. That fucking thing. It
That
looks
thing
so
looks
bad.
absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Recommend. Do you want to watch Jund or Uncharted?
Apparently,
Kashmir File?
yeah, that thing has released with Radhe Shyam. Apparently good. That movie is I don't know. Don't know how to what I feel about it. But, like I didn't watch it. Like the reactions sort of have been that like a lot of it seems to be very politically driven. Like people who
Yeah,
are
I
liking
think
it
like
are saying like, oh, they're
yeah,
exposing
yeah.
the real truth about the Muslims of the country, something.
So yeah. I saw
And
the
people who
what do you
say
call that?
it's uh,
The
triangle.
film companion thing.
Okay,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Even the film companion guys, they said like, oh,
Gross
it's built
misrepresentation
on
of the history.
lies.
Yeah, and like people
Yeah.
who hate it seem to be like the politics seem to take over the thing, and the director and the filmmakers had a photo with PM Modi after the movie. I don't know. I not like I care, but I hope it's an actually good movie, because otherwise there's no point watching it. I feel like
Oh, there's also this movie called Pada. This Malayalam movie. I
Pada.
literally just Pada. Apparently, it's really good. It's about like 4 men who hold the Palakkad collector hostage, demanding tribal rights.
Oh, sounds.
And it's 2 hours, and it got 4 stars from Times of India. I fucking hate this website, but usually, hello, sorry. Usually, like they usually underrate or they never give the right rating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it seems like this is one of those times where they avoided giving like a 5 out of 5 because they were like, oh, it is 4 only. It's not that good. Joju George, Dilish Puthan, Kunchako Boban, and Vinayagan. Yeah, Vinayagan from Kamatipalam.
Yeah,
And Emayu.
all like that's
Really big actors.
classic Malayalam thing where they just have those 10 actors, they keep shuffling them around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently it's good. I literally just found out about it, so I don't know.
Anyways, getting back to
Back to
Radhe Shyam, I had a thought about like how they spent like 300 crores or something. 300 crores. It says 300 crores. Like the director says 300 crores, but Google says 350 crores. I have no idea. Somewhere in the 300 to 350 ballpark. And and I was like, they probably can fund entire Malayalam film industry for a year if they just gave
right
like
now.
legitimately like like I don't even I don't know a fact check, but it seems like Malayalam people don't spend a lot of money, and maybe they even if they release like
Bro,
200
they.
films a year,
Mhm.
which is very
Oh,
like
you wanna get to like you wanna get to like facts. You wanna say like with 300 crores you can actually fund them.
yeah, because they make 200 films, let's
Mhm.
say, per year. Uh,
Mhm.
let's say 250 films, and
Mhm.
most of them seem to be around the 2 3 crores 4 crores 5 crores budget only, so they
Mhm.
probably can fund at least half of, like more than half of it with that money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
Yeah,
mean, you can fund many things with that money.
yeah,
Like
you can fund a
you
lot
can
of
fund,
things.
you could have funded a better movie, eh? You could have funded anything else. It's very stupid that this thing costs 300 crores because you don't see it on screen. That's another like problem I have with it.
Mm.
It looks expensive, don't get me wrong. Like when I
Yeah,
watched it, I was like, okay, I see that
like
the money
they're all
went here.
wearing expensive clothes, expensive
They
everything
always look
expensive.
so pretty. Their rooms are stuff of
Yeah, like they
legends.
don't look like our rooms
So
at
expensive.
all.
You could let out one of their rooms and you can make enough money to live for 2 years.
Yeah, like
It looks
they
expensive.
all look like soon to be restaurants or something. They all
Yeah,
look
yeah.
pretty and all that, but it's so surface level that way where uh, it doesn't feel like, even though they shot this in Italy and all that, it never uses that in any way. It never uses the place in any way. You're
Hmm.
muted. Okay. It never uses the place in any way. You never see them interact with with anyone there except just the Telugu actors. You know, there's no breathing space to like make you feel that you are in this place. You just
There's
like
no sense of
it.
place. There's no
Yeah.
like they don't touch the place.
Yeah.
They
In
don't
any way,
live
they
there.
don't
Yeah,
interact with it. It all seems like just like they are in a set. They just like do their lines and they'll get off the set. That's all.
yeah, that's
It's
all. It's very
it's
simplistic. You
yeah.
never see them pick something up, use it, put it down, or
Unless it's
interact
like
with it in
actually
any
useful
meaningful
for the
way.
plot or something.
Yeah, like for the plot, they take like a stethoscope or like, oh, give me the scalpel or like, oh, the train, some shit. Very like basic stuff. You never see someone like existing in the background, like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, I'm doing this, I'm
the
doing that. Nothing.
extras, they all seem like extras. They never feel like, oh,
Yeah,
they live in this environment.
it reminds me of that director. What was his name? Baz Luhrmann, the Great Gatsby dude, the Moulin Rouge dude.
Mm-hmm.
He also makes movies like this where like it's very like extravagant and big, and when you're watching it the whole time you're wondering like, am I supposed to connect to this? Am I supposed to feel this on some way? You made it so alien, you made it so plastic by being so extravagant. What is the point of it anymore, it's very stupid. Like, I think the biggest tell is the fact that they're constantly traveling through trains. They're out in the rain. A lot of shit consistently happens to them, right? Car accident, ship accident, blah, blah, blah. They're in a hospital. And yet you feel like they were in one location and it was just like the backgrounds were just changing.
Yeah, they all have. I don't know how to explain it. Some for a movie that is supposed to be very huge and all that, it seems very restrictive even in that way. Where because most of the movies happens inside the house, inside the hospital, and
Hmm.
like few outdoor things, but they never get you connected with the place. So all of it feels
Yeah.
like just like plain backgrounds.
Yeah, it is just like a green screen, but an exceptionally good green screen. Also,
Yeah.
it's green screen. This has some
Also, there
horrible
were
CG
some,
in it.
yeah, there
Yes,
was some
segues.
there's some horrible green screen in this movie. There's like there are so many shots that just like it was just like, oh, they are in a green screen studio, we can see that, oh ho ho.
Yeah.
And some of the times I'm like, why, like I always didn't understand this thing where like even they did this in Saho where like in Saho there was just like a terrorist shot and
Yeah.
they just had a green screen that there was like, can't you just shoot it in some way, or like
Some
if
logistical fuck up, right?
or
Usually.
like if it doesn't look good, just like it will never look good in green screen, these type of things,
Yeah.
right? So why
Yeah,
don't you
yeah.
just shoot it inside, like
Yeah.
there's towards the end, the climax, they shoot it on like a terrace of some hospital or something,
Mhm.
like it clearly looks kafi garib with the sunrise and like yeah, it
Mhm.
looks like maybe they had an idea that was supposed to be pretty, but
Mhm.
it looks bad. And why don't you just change the scene so that they shoot it inside the hospital? It would rather be looking like normal, like, and you won't have to feel that disconnect. And more than
Yeah.
the green screen, there was that fucking train chase scene that was, I that is like some very low quality shit even compared to like
The
some
train chase.
2000s
Oh
movie
yeah, the
where
train
like
chase. Yeah.
clearly Prabhas just was there for the close-ups and someone else
Mhm.
was running, some body double man was running, and generally
Mhm.
what they do is they shoot from behind or something, but here they were shooting him from in front of him, but they were just like motion tracking, like they literally put Prabhas's face on top of him. And I
Mhm.
don't know how got approved. Like that looks like some dumb like YouTube sketch level effects.
Yeah. In general, it just has a very like cheap vibe, even though they have so much money. Bad green screen 2020, pretty sad. Yeah, you'd be surprised how often it still happens. We will never get rid of that bad green screen problem ever. Okay. They
Then
spent so much on sets and they didn't have left for the CG and edit. Yeah, probably. Honestly, that's what I'm wondering. Like, they budgeted it completely wrong or what? Like, why did they spend
I
so
saw
much?
like some tweet from the tweet or Instagram story from the cinematographer guy who like that's another story that maybe we should talk about, the thing that we need to talk about maybe where like suddenly now this narrative of like, you know, this movie is sort of flopping because of all the bad negative
Mhm.
reviews and the negative talks and the negativity, and they all
Yeah.
think that like people who reviewed the movie are negative towards it because they wanted like a mass movie and they didn't get it.
What? No.
Yeah, like, and maybe there is that audience, maybe I have no idea, but like I see
Mhm.
most people who were shitting on the movie were all like, hey, in this romance movie, romance is only not working, what the fuck, and all that.
Yeah.
And they were saying some people were just criticizing or it on being like it is too pretty and it's distracting something. I was like, bruh,
Mm.
there are some kafi garib things in this movie which we can see.
Yeah.
And he even said, but he did say in that thing that there were like some
Yeah.
wait, I want to read his quote maybe then instead
Okay.
of just like winging it. Okay. Yeah, you keep
That's all.
talking.
That's also a common. Wait, they spend so much. No, can you guys recommend some good rom com movies? Oh,
Indian,
yeah, Indian or or foreign.
foreign, Indian rom-coms.
Indian rom com. Shekhar Kamala movies. I think. I mean, you must have seen it already, but that I think are like
Shekhar
really good
Kamala movies or
Indian rom com. Very
uh,
cute, wholesome. Oh, what about that thing I saw, the Siddharth movie? That's also something I think everyone
Koncham
has seen.
Ishtam,
But it's like,
Koncham
yeah,
Kashtam.
yeah, Konjam Ishtam, Konjam Kashtam. That's
A
also
lot of the
nice.
Siddharth movies. You don't like Janata and Janna, but I really like it. I think it's a good rom com.
I think he wants suggestions. You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
tell.
Janata Janna. What else are there? I think recent.
Drive.
Sure. Fuck. Maybe I think there's recently. Cinema Band is not the one. Fuck.
Uh,
I'm trying to think about the movie. What is the movie's name? Fuck, I'm
mhm.
forgetting. It's called Raja Varu Rani Garu. That's a really good romance movie that came out like in
Uh,
2020, if I'm not wrong. That was like
mm.
very coffee indie and all, but it's pretty good. Eh,
Sandeep or Pinky Farrar. Yeah.
it's not really rom com, but okay.
It's such a rom com.
Yeah, but Raja Varu Rani Garu I would recommend.
Yeah, I don't know many rom coms.
Um, yeah, I think probably you haven't watched it, so Raja Varu Rani Garu will be my recommendation one. Wait, I was supposed to see the tweet, right?
You didn't. Okay, I was
Okay,
just gonna
I'm
say that
checking. That's
a
why I
lot
said
of
keep
people.
talking.
That's why I said the rom coms. I
Huh.
said like a lot of movies and like just like filmmakers and like producers, directors,
Mm.
whatever you call them, whenever they get criticism on a project that they clearly were like sort of passionate about or
Mm-hmm.
well intentioned with, at least they always deflect it, saying like maybe the audience expected something different, and they completely like ig- ignore what the actual criticism is saying, and they focus on like easy targets,
Mm.
very easy to defend targets. Like, we made a romantic movie and these people saying they want a big like mass movie, so of course it's their problem. It's like we're right.
Mm.
Whereas the harder thing to do, I remember this happened with like Bohemian Rhapsody as well. Even with what's the thing, Don't Look Up, I think.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you go on. You finish the
Yeah,
thought.
I was just saying that like where the criticism leveled at it is not because of like we missed your point completely. We got your point. The point wasn't good, right?
Yeah. Like the tweet, like there was a Instagram story put up by the cinematographer, and he said like, I agree. Critics has big say about film storyline and screenplay performance. I'm reading a lot of complaints on the visual premises of story being so rich and unwanted. Is this the way criticism works anywhere in the world? Has as if they are paying extra money to watch heavy budget movie when already there are a lot of restrictions. Okay, there's something else. Even I feel I failed in a lot of spaces with the green screen patchworks and post pandemic hurdles to complete this film. I thank every single person, blah blah blah. Yeah, and they were talking about how this is. I wish all the films made in the competitive entertainment industry and any story can be told anywhere in the basics of the film, making a classic example of rich girl falling in love with a poor boy, Titanic period. But the director never intended to make another Titanic. Here, he thought a big ship middle of ocean is good premise to fight against five elements of nature. Okay, this seems very rambly actually.
Very odd, my guy.
I think it literally sounds like someone on the night, like it's
Yeah.
like going. Yeah,
Fuck you. The whiskey hit. Whiskey
yeah. I
hit.
think he agreed the green screen patchworks thing, which
Hmm.
seems kind of stupid for a movie that was shot over 3 years, and they still had green screen patches. It's like, bruh, that definitely looks yeah. And yeah, we whenever we are talking about money in our reviews or when we are discussing this movie, it's such a big thing because it is expensive and it is a big thing to consider when you're watching this movie, because it's a romance movie that they spent 350 crores on. They should
Yeah,
make it look at least good.
bro.
And for a
There is
movie,
no excuse when the budget is so high. It's
yeah.
not like an indie movie too. And you know what? I think like one way they could have walked away with this patchwork being there, right? One way like people would have willingly ignored it is if the story itself was pretty
Yeah,
great.
like good example is the Pushpa thing.
Pushpa, the finale of Pushpa has some horrible, horrible
Green screen.
CG in it. Yeah,
Uh,
just terrible green screen. Like Pushpa turns into like a green blob as he goes away and shit.
yeah.
When the camera pans around, it's a very clear, like, oh, there's some fast forwarding dumb shit done here,
There's
etc.,
that.
etc.
There's the log scene. They
Yeah,
both have
yeah,
bad CG, bad green
like
screen, all that.
horrible, horrible CG. You can tell it's
Yeah,
CG. Yet
but when you're
the
connected
sequence
with
in
the
Pushpa,
story, when you're
yeah,
in
you
the
don't care.
scene, you wouldn't care. Like even if you have that slight disconnect, but like if
You
the
will willingly
writing,
ignore it.
yeah, you're like
Yeah,
fuck it. The scene itself is working by, but when there is nothing working, then you will go to that, and you're like, oh, this also looks kind of shit.
yeah.
And yeah, that is the problem with this movie. There are a lot of things just like kind of end up looking thoda bad.
It's not just that it looks sort of bad, right? Like we said, the story doesn't work on any level. On one hand, we're supposed to sort of buy into the fact that Vikramaditya is this expert palmist who's been palm reading for decades or something. He's like a living legend. He's read John Lennon's hand, everybody. All that shit. And yet, at the same time, there are so many inconsistencies when it comes to that. Why is a guy who's been reading palms, who's so amazing at reading palms, that he can predict the future to the T, as in, like, he knows what cause of death will happen. He doesn't just say, at this age, you'll die. He'll say, like, you will die bent over or toilet bowl in this restaurant and shit, right? And when he's that accurate, how is it that he's not mentally dead? How is it that he's not numb? He accepts
Yeah.
that he has no love line. He accepts like he can never have like a lover and all of this. And you think like, oh, if he accepts it, if the after the opening of the Indira Gandhi thing, you're like, oh, it's true. He is like numb in a way. He's a cold man. So why does he chase the train? What was in the train that was so valuable that he wanted to quote unquote prevent it at all? And even though he went to try and prevent it, why does it never occur to him or even the girl who's interested in him that he may have caused it by trying to prevent it?
Yeah,
Like,
that's another thing where they don't even try to address that. Hey, he like in it's that's some one of the most basic, like, you know, any movie with like destiny, time, anything that has like this whole element of knowing the future in a way, then that's the base level of, if you are doing a certain thing that will change the outcome. It is not something where it's just supposed to be that way. And
Yeah.
the movie just doesn't go into that at all. The movie, like, it makes his powers, like, I'm repeating myself, but like it makes his powers very vague, where he can
Yeah.
just like very specific, where it's like, oh, stomach cancer that day, blah 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 blah. And sometimes he just like it says like, yeah, this doesn't feel right, you know, not feeling it. This is sports, maybe not so good for you. It makes no fucking sense. Like,
Mhm.
so like if you want to make the argument that no, he actually knew but he didn't want to tell, that seems so
Mm.
fucked up for him to not say that, hey, you're gonna lose your hand in this train accident. If you
Yeah.
want to say, oh, he's such a cold person, then why the fuck is he trying to save it again after 5 minutes?
Yeah.
It makes no
What?
fucking
That's so
sense.
weird. Yeah, it's so stupid, right? Especially the fact that he read her hand and he was like, "Sports won't work out for you." Wonder why it won't work out. Maybe the lack of hand, man. Like what? He never told her that. He was just like, "She will lose her hand. I
Yeah.
won't tell her. I won't tell her anything."
Like,
But
I actually thought for a second that, oh, he's
Mhm.
maybe something bad happens and that's why he's not saying it.
Yeah, no. You think that, but then what really like hits him is not even when you break it down as a scene, it makes no fucking sense from a character point of view. Because if you break it down as its own scene, right,
Hmm.
devoid from the rest of the movie, you would think like basic writing wise,
Hmm.
if two characters are interacting together, the dad interacts with him, the
Hmm.
daughter interacts with him, they have more of a personal ground than these strangers who are offering their hands, right?
Hmm.
So why is it that the reason he goes to save the train, not for those two people, but for these randoms who were just pestering him?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be more impactful if it was like, I want to save them? They confided in me. The dad respects me so much. You know, they do trust me. I can't break it. I need to save them in some way. Why does he save it for the random like people in the train carriage who are just offering the palms? How does that
I
make
think
narrative
it's
sense?
supposed to be like sort of on both, like combined. He sort of felt bad that everyone's gonna die something.
Combined, yeah, fuck off. It didn't show that. It showed like shoom, shoom, palms. Oh, now I'll read the palm from flashback now. I remember their palms so well. I'm Vikramaditya. I have photographic memory,
Yes.
guys.
Yeah.
Shoom, like what? Stupid. So dumb.
Hmm.
And no one I love that Pooja Hegde sees this like horrible train thing happen.
Hmm.
Like it comes on the news with this footage of just like a wreckage. And what she thinks is not like, holy fuck, he's right.
Hmm.
No, she thinks, holy fuck, he ran away from, she doesn't think, holy fuck, he ran away from me saying the train is gonna die. And then when I saw him again later, it said the train crashed. I wonder if he had something to do with it when he ran after it.
Yeah.
No suspicion of any kind, no doubt of any kind. She's just like, oh, it's Vikramaditya, guys. He will save me. It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's काफी dumb. There are and yeah, we already talked about how the fucking train chase looks fucking phenomenally bad, and he puts a
Yeah.
branch in front of them, and the train
Yeah.
guy is like, "Oh, I will just make a turn." He just makes a turn. Like, what the fuck?
I actually thought what had happened was he puts the branch and the guy, like, fucking forcefully just like pulls the thing, stops it. How is it that like Shivaji had a better train stopping scene than this shit?
Shreya's like,
Oh,
like,
please, I have to be like naked for this. Like, what?
that actually had a better
Yeah,
train stopping
very
scene.
sad. Very sad.
Yeah. What are the other things?
What are the other things? Right after that, how I think this is one thing we can both agree is like a good part of the movie. The central conflict and sort of, what do you call it? The idea behind the movie is pretty
Mm.
good.
Mm.
Of a palmist who has no love line falling in love with someone who is a person of logic who is slated to die. She will die.
Mm.
And even though the palmist says like she will live, for her to believe that, she has to sort of let go of whatever she believes, which is science and logic and
Mm.
modern medicine. And she has to do that because otherwise she's living like a hopeless, depressed fucking
Mm.
life. But At the same time, if she believes in what he's saying, that means that he will also die for sure. That is like a nicely written conflict, I think. There's like a lot of not fucked up. I mean, like, there's a lot of like tension you can take from that, because at every point,
Yeah, and
narratively,
she
there is
also
always like,
has like a cancer or something that
yeah,
can't be
like she,
cured,
yeah,
and
exactly. Like,
she has to believe in him, but like, or should he believe in the science? Blah blah
yeah,
blah.
either way you look at it, it looks like a hard choice, because if one believes or works for the other, they cannot love each other. The only way they can ever like be happy is if either doesn't believe in the other.
Yeah.
If they never met, technically, that's the only way. So I think
And
that's a pretty good like conflict for the movie.
but then they do nothing with it. They just like
Yeah,
start
I know.
like like everything conveniently gets solved. Like
Yeah,
we were like in that cancer thing especially. It's the most like the interval is happens where it's like it's revealed that she has cancer, and he's like, no, you're gonna live for 100 years, Behan, and all that. But and you're like, okay, cool, something will happen, and it ends on a more promising note than. Like the entire first half, otherwise, there's a lot of just like songs and
yeah,
some bad comedy and shit. And then after like 5 minutes, suddenly like the doctor guy is like his uncle, like like Pooja Hegde's uncle. He's like a doctor too, and he's like, you just can't be cured, just live with that and all that.
yeah,
You are being delusional. Why are you believing
yeah.
in that Prabhas
Why
man?
you're
And straight up
insulting my
being
40
mean.
years?
Like I didn't
Yeah,
understand what he was trying to get out of it. Like, you want her to be sad? What? I didn't
yeah.
understand. Like, isn't his duty supposed to be like, oh, you are giving him hope? That's like you are giving her hope. That's a good thing. But no, he's acting like, no, it's a bad thing. You need to, like, you are disrespecting my 40 years of medical science. And
Yeah,
it's
like
like,
what?
brother, I am dying. Like, I don't give a
Yeah.
shit about your medical science. What the fuck are you
and
talking
and
about?
it seems like you give enough of a shit about me that you're so concerned and you want to
Yeah.
make sure like I'm all right and stuff.
Like,
The
what
fuck?
was his point even? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, instead of me living like I am going to die for 2 months, I will at least live these 2 months pretending like I will
happy.
be I'll be alive.
I
Like,
live.
what are you
Yeah.
fucking getting out of this? It seems so forced in.
It seems like she has the upper ground there. It's
Yeah,
like, yeah, let me live happily.
yeah, and
I am going to die.
it makes the fucking like prediction man the most like sane one out of them. Like, even if he's
Yeah.
just like bullshitting, he's at least like making her happy. And like,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be the other way around where she will be like, no, I don't
The
believe
one
in
who's
this.
negative.
Yeah,
Because of
because
course she wouldn't.
yeah,
She's seen like every hope and there's nothing.
yeah,
And this guy's coming and telling her, you will live long, happy. Like,
yeah.
I thought that's what it was getting at when she starts like she was acting pretty nicely there too. Like when
I think
they're
that's
on the boat
another
and
good thing. I think Pooja Hegde was
yeah,
pretty
Pooja Hegde
decent in this
acted.
movie.
Yeah, she acted pretty nicely. And like when she's on that boat and he's reading her hand, he's just saying like, "You will live a happy life," blah blah blah. She's like visibly like disturbed by it, and it's like, oh, maybe like something is bothering her. Maybe she thinks she won't be happy, etc., etc. Right? And I thought like that was what it would do. That she would be mad at him. That when you saw her in the hospital, that she'll think like, I can't believe what you're saying. It's actually like so hurtful to me, right? But no, it's like, "Oh, I want hope. I want hope." And the other guy's like, you should die hopeless.
Yeah.
Live it. No, you're going to
It makes
die.
no fucking sense. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and then there's that big scene where he proves that he can see palms, and
Yeah, and he
suddenly
starts going like, your stomach poisoning. Yeah, they died like this, they died like
very
that, blah
specific.
blah blah. Very eerily specific. I didn't know my palm held that knowledge of the fact
No,
that I will die
no,
like that. Like what?
I don't care about that. Like a lot. Some people are making like, oh, it's about palmistry. How can he? Like, that's not like that.
The
Doesn't
point.
matter.
I know. I'm just drawing attention to the fact that it was so vague in the first
Yeah,
half,
yeah,
and then in the second half,
yeah.
suddenly he's so precise. It's inconsistent. If throughout he was proper precise, that movie would have been cooler too, instead of it being vague. If he knew like exactly
It's
what was
just
going to happen.
convenience. That's the biggest problem
Yeah,
in this
it's
movie.
just plot
Like,
writing.
whenever like it wants it to have like a dramatic thing, it makes it vague. When he wants a
Yeah.
specific thing, then it happens to be very specific.
Yeah.
There are a lot of ways this movie could have been more interesting if they delved more into the drama of it, that thing more with the whole Disney, that would have been more better. But like that sort of basically resolved within like the first 20 minutes of the second half. It's like it's like the director or the writer ensuring that, hey guys, we are not killing her, you can just chill.
We cannot,
We are
guys.
not
We want
killing
you to have a
anyone.
good time, okay?
Yeah. And maybe it would have, maybe if the entire first half was sort of about this thing where they, like, it starts off with them already together or something, and or like they meet and like it all that, because not a lot happens in the first half. They could have just like cut it down to like 20-30 minutes and then get to the like the first like big what do you call like the after the like that be the first act, and the
Okay.
inciting incident being the whole
Yeah.
that would have
Like,
made
because that's so odd that the inciting incident comes at the fucking interval, man.
this is just like an Indian movie problem. Like a lot of
Yeah.
movies do that, where because they
The
need a
first act
high,
is just like,
the first
ooh.
act is literally the first hour of the movie, and then the inciting incident happens at the interval, and you're like, now what's gonna happen? But here they could have just done away with that shit and like actually put the inciting incident in the first 30 minutes. And me like till the interval maybe had that whole drama of like what do I believe in, science or this palm, and how do, and like more drama out of it. But it's just like they introduce it like in the second half is like first 10-20 minutes, and like the doctor is convinced, she is convinced, they're happy
Yeah.
again. It's just like, okay, cool.
It's very, very convenient. I
I'm
think that's
forgetting
another
what even
thing.
happened after that.
After what? The interval?
Yeah, like after the interval, like after she gets convinced and all that, what happens after that? Like,
After she gets convinced. Wait, did I forget as well? That's unfortunate. They have fun. They go around. They have fun. She comes for dinner to his house. They're kissing and like all. Oh, no, that happens before.
what is the conflict there? I forgot even. Fuck.
No, I think it's the dinner thing, right? She comes home for dinner. She reads his diary, and she wraps it up as a gift, and she gives it to him.
And
And
there's that big sequence about the hairpin.
oh my god, no!
Yeah.
This is why I forgot.
The hairpin sequence. I think that is the. I think
Yeah.
it might have been a song. This is such a, like we saw it like 4 days back, 3 days back. This is not going well. Yeah, like there's this big hairpin sequence where
Yeah.
he gets her a hairpin, and that she liked like in the first half, and he goes
Yeah.
on a big monologue about how he got it, and the friends are like, hey, it's just 10 rupees, what's the value? And he keeps explaining, and it's like, that is 5,000, that is 10,000, and I had to lie to my mom, can you put a price on it? And she's
Yeah.
like, and
Whoa! So
and
bad.
like and you would think, okay, you are putting so much emphasis on this hairpin thing, so it would mean something by the end, like the hairpin is the change between like something like the destinies, like that is the thing, that is the link or something. No, it's just hairpin scene, like for no reason. And the only other time you see it is when she does like a little car accident and
Stunt.
a car stunt, and like the blood falls on it, like
Yeah. It's very, very, very painful. That entire hairpin scene, I remember watching it and it hit me like a truck. Like, this scene is going to be pointless. He's gonna go for like 10 minutes or something. And I'm
actually
going to
felt
be
the
so
opposite,
fucking
where
pained out.
I thought that this might have a point.
No, when he started explaining to them, like, I got this with great difficulty, and it's turned into that comedy music. I was like, no, this is gonna go on for a while. It'll kill me. Blah,
Like,
blah, blah.
but like would like I don't know if it's but like whenever I see something like that being done in a movie, I just feel like, oh, this is one of those obvious setups that will come in action towards the last 30-20 minutes, but it just doesn't. Then why did you even spend so much time? It's not like this defined their relationship in any way. It's not like her whole life depended. It's so stupid, I don't get it.
It's
And
such a painful scene. By far one of the most painful scenes in the whole movie.
mm,
Oh my god. And I think like after that what happens is they do the whole like dating thing. She reads his diary and she actually takes his diary accidentally. She reads his diary, he puts it in his coat pocket,
no, no, no.
and
Yeah,
then
if I remember, he tells that he has no love line and he has to leave the country.
which is
Yeah.
so dumb because he already told her this. Like,
Yeah, I don't know why she like. I was very. I didn't understand why she was so shocked at that. Like,
yeah,
did you
he
not
already told you
that's
this.
always the thing he keeps saying. Like, that's the only characteristic he has. Like, he can read
Yeah,
palms and he has no love line. That's about it, man.
yeah, he keeps saying that, and
Yeah.
when he says that, she's like, "No, what the fuck?" And then she says like, "To prove you wrong," which I think, which again is like a nice bit of the writing where
Mm,
because he says this can't happen. She's like, "Oh, to prove you wrong, you said I would be alive, right? So I'll die so you can find love in some fucking way." And she just gets into like a mortal fucking accident in the car,
mm,
which is also the car accident itself. I have so many problems with it. I mean,
mm,
not so many. One main problem. It looks like she's gonna drive off a cliff,
mm,
and that would have been better. But then, like, a car crashes onto her in the last second, and it's just like CG shit of like, I am flying out of the car in slow motion. Da blah blah blah. What if they just showed like a car flying off,
mm,
and you just see like, in Inception, there's that shot of like the water breaking through the van.
mm.
Like, what if they did that? That would have been so much more brutal, right? But no, it's a CG of like, oh, look at how beautifully mangled Pooja Hegde is now in the car accident.
Fuck, I really don't remember this movie. Holy fuck! Like a
Yeah, I
lot of this
know.
is like sort of like going out
Yeah,
as we
we
speak.
should have we should have streamed right after we saw the movie.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah. That was the
we
plan.
got
Remember?
everything.
Cough,
I
cough.
remember cough cough. Remember who couldn't make it that day? Cough cough.
The next day, who couldn't make it? Cough, 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 cough.
Cough cough. Sunday doesn't have good internet traffic. Cough cough cough
Yeah,
cough
sure,
cough.
sure.
But yeah, we should. I remember after this. Wait, let me spend a minute recollecting.
Yeah,
She
I think I know what
crashes.
happens after that. Like, then she goes to the hospital. Then, he goes back and he's like now pretending that he's having his last day, and he's like, he tells, yeah, there's this whole thing where his mom needs to dance or something, and I thought
Oh
that
right,
will
that's in
lead,
the diary.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I thought that will lead into the ship thing, but no.
No, he was just like
It's-
aligning up his final affairs, I suppose.
Yeah, and it's not like he even had a relationship with any of these people to make
Yeah,
you feel anything. He
it
literally
is
spoke.
on
There are
screen.
2 scenes or 3 scenes before where once he talked to his mother, once he had that funny Kunal Roy Kapoor friend man who's just like in the house and he keeps
He just
talking about
lives
the
in his
food.
house. Is it
Yeah,
brother?
brother or friend, I don't give a shit. It's like maybe
Hmm.
friend, maybe I don't remember. And he's
Hmm.
like, he eats and he's like, you can't cook well, blah blah blah. That's his whole thing. And
Hmm.
we are supposed to be like, damn, he's really leaving all his people. He meets, I think,
Yeah.
even we forgot the whole like his guru angle. I think that's one of the scenes that happens in second half where the guru
Oh
is
yeah,
very like,
Guru says like, bro, you know this, like I wrote my book called 99% because
palmistry is 99% science, because there's that
yeah,
1% of people who just take fate in their hands and do with it, and those are the people who rule, man. They're the rocks, man, and all that. That is another big problem in this movie. A lot of the movie, it always like it just like like there are, when you begin a film, there's like, if
Mhm.
you have like something weird like palmistry or something, it's not like super weird,
Right.
but like a goofy concept like that.
Mhm.
A smart thing would be, hey, it's a thing, believe it, audience member, and go with it,
Yeah,
rather than
yeah,
stopping the movie and trying to explain it to them like again and again. Oh, wait a second,
yeah.
my Zomato guy is calling me.
Oh, call him on the podcast. I mean, shit.
Wait, how do I
Oh,
okay,
that's
okay.
hilarious. Your phone is the.
Yeah,
Oh, there he's gone, guys. The illusion is ruined.
wait a second. I'll mute myself.
No, bye. All right.
Hello,
So, yeah,
hello.
yeah. You didn't mute your. You didn't. You didn't mute yourself, sir. Okay, he muted. All right. So yeah, as you were saying, the whole premise or the concept behind palmistry, behind like any power in any movie, it's always better to establish it early on and just make it like really consistent, which this movie doesn't. This movie makes it look like, yeah, whatever Vikramaditya is saying will happen. There's a scene in the opening. Oh yeah, this Jagavati Babu in this movie, he doesn't do dick throughout this movie. He's just kind of there. He's like kind of a big actor, and they have him for one scene where it's like, oh, he's the villain. You know, guys, he's gonna be the bad guy. It looks like. But then it turns out that Vikramaditya was just being kind of an asshole to him for no reason other than like, oh, I'm a palmish lul. I know what you're going to do, lul. And it's, it's so weird. When you see him in the second half, all he does is it's just like resolution for what Vikramaditya says, and it's like, oh, Vikramaditya is right. The movie brings up the fact that he's consistently right, he's always right, that nothing can ever go wrong and all that. But then suddenly in the end, it's like, oh, fuck you, you know. This was all like, it's all gonna be like proven wrong in the last minute, the last climactic battle, which is kind of dumb. They could have done it before the interval. Before the interval, they could have shown that like he can be proven wrong. Or fuck that, they could have just shown it at the start of the movie that hey, 99%, he's not always right. Palm reading is not always right. I don't know why they set it up to be that, oh, it's always right. He is what's right. That is the truth of what will happen. It's very dumb. And the fact that in the end, it's this whole like hackneyed, you need to fight fate to get what you want and all that. Hello.
I had to go get my order. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just mentioning Jagavati Babu, the fact that the whole fate thing is not
that
explained
was another
properly.
big time waster in the movie.
Yeah, like he's there for no reason. All he serves, in fact, the entire movie leading to the point where she crashes the car, all it serves is to make it known that like, hey, whatever he's reading on your palm is what's gonna happen, man.
Yeah.
So preventing it, man. And then in the last end of the movie, suddenly they're like, bro,
you
bro,
can
but
prevent.
You can.
You can.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
It's if you spend so much time establishing a rule, then what is the point if you're just gonna break it at the last 20 minutes? And like even if they wanted to do that, right? Why didn't they just go wild with it? Just make it more metaphorical and just like Pooja Hegde is a fairy now. Yeah. She comes out, she lifts him out of the water, blah, anything, right? For a
like
movie
metaphorical is one thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
for a movie that's so expensive, it's so like not imaginative at all. It's so it tries to be so hardly grounded. Like it's somewhat goofy, but like grounded. It's so stupid.
I think like more than it being imaginative in the finale, the songs are cringing.
Like the songs, like 2-3 songs sound good, but they're not shot in any interesting way to make it memorable.
Like I was saying that even if the finale was not imaginative enough, right? No, it should have been more imaginative. Or the alternative is that they could have actually, consequence. Breaking a rule is a very, very heavy thing to do. Or in any like universe with a power, if you establish a rule that's so grand and like so just consistent,
it is the big thing that they keep doing throughout the movie.
Yeah, it is the movie's big like big stick that is always poking. Yeah, it's always poking the characters with the stick. If you're going to break that stick, make it in a sequence that's actually impactful and heavy and proper, like really like it should be like insane. It should be that if he's breaking this, he is fucking, you are going to go through the ringer with him when he breaks this. Which is what I thought would happen. You said you wanted the metaphorical stuff, right? What I thought would happen was Prabhas is going to get ripped to shit. He's actually going to be physically just like shredded, like injured, battered, broken, all of that. And he's going to show up and he's going to see her. Or they're going to wake up in a hospital bed together.
Like he's barely alive, basically.
Barely alive, essentially. That's what I thought would happen. And I thought like, that would be a nice way to show that like, because he broke this, he wrote his own fate. He paid the price to write his own fate, to earn that. But no, in the finale, it's like he is invincible.
Like
Like he
not
gets
just
tossed
like
around
not
and
just
nothing.
invincible. He's just like it's like just like a few barrels. He like
Yeah.
the whole thing is that he goes into which also basic logic like if it's a storm, why the fuck are they?
There ships there.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Fuck me.
Oh, your phone deactivated again.
No, I got a call.
Insane. You wanna like mute it?
Yeah, I cut the call, but like the true caller notification popped up. My God.
Ah, yeah, that's always a pain. Anyways, I was saying that like you should pay a price. You should
Yeah.
make your characters pay a price for breaking such a thing. That's the only way it's narratively satisfying. Because if you don't make them pay the price, the entire rest of the movie is so inconsequential in hindsight.
Yeah.
Not just and don't forget ever rewatching it. Because if you ever watch this thing again, you're gonna know like nothing's gonna happen. I'm not gonna feel it. I know knowledge wise he's not going to pay a price. He's not going. Nothing horrible is going to happen. I don't need to stick around for this. Everything will work out in the end. It's fine. It's okay. You
Yeah.
know, there's no tension. There's no like weight to any of this. And that entire ship scene is so bad. It's like Prabhas is just invincible. He acts like he's always staring at everything like he's in some arena. You know, like hey, I will fight you, container.
Like he just runs up a few barrels, jumps over, blah blah blah, and then
Swinging
he.
on chains like into an explosion and shit.
Yeah,
No
I was still
scarring,
I was
nothing.
still like fine. Like I thought they were building up. I didn't know that was the whole sequence. Like I thought the whole like barrel thing and the chain thing. I was like, oh, that is the build up. And when he does the big like flare gun thing and they see him, I thought, okay, this is now like the first beat of this big thing. Now there will be more beats. No, that was the that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
There was like he falls down from that, and there's big storm coming out of here. You're like, what is he gonna do? He's gonna go through storm or like some metaphorical shit. Something's gonna happen. Something big. No, hard cut. And they go back to they just show Pooja Hegde. She's recovered. She's fine. Prabhas just walks and he's like, hey, I made it. You know, I'm a
Yeah.
Romeo. I don't die. Like, and I was still like, maybe they will flash back. Maybe they will do something. No, the movie ends and you're like,
Yeah.
that's it. What the
Nice, man. That was the big fight, man. You went
against
through
the
nothing.
elements according to the cinema, like yeah, whatever. What was the fight even?
Against the elements. What was this big fight? He wasn't injured. It didn't look like he suffered at all.
Yeah.
I didn't see Prabhas wince or cry in pain or like act. You remember if you remember in the Aviator, right? It's not the same thing. But you know when he takes that plane out for a test drive and it fails spectacularly. You know how fucked that scene is? He's like, there's like glass shards in his hand. He's crying. There's like blood and shit. He has to crash it into a house. It's blowing up. Proper fucked. His character gets proper fucked. Why didn't that happen here? In fact, it had the chance to do so. What other way to fuck up and mangle your character other than a ship with heavy cargo and a massive tsunami, right? Like, you know, when he is in the water and like that container hits his head and he starts bleeding.
Oh yeah, and you think, oh,
Like-
he's proper big injury, and then he's almost there, and some jellyfish show up in front of him,
Which is so dumb. Like, jellyfish will sting you to shit, man. Like,
yeah, and let's just say it's just supposed to be metaphorical, blah blah blah. It's so like it's way too grounded. Why didn't they go even more on it so that like you don't feel like yeah, like oh, he doesn't feel any consequence? Then you can like then like if I am like someone who's making this like big hero movie with where he has to face consequence and he actually can't because you know they'll just burn the theater if he actually dies in the movie, something like that. So
Okay.
wouldn't the better choice be make it more weirder, make it just like floating angel Pooja, something happens? No, it's like jellyfish come, there's like a health crate.
oh yeah, he has like health packs from video games. You know?
Yeah, and they
Vikramaditya,
just assume that oh,
notorious
because there's
gamer.
big plus symbol and health crate, he just did like
Will
a surgery.
heal himself? Like, what?
Like
It's actually
legitimately like a video
logic.
game
It is-
logic.
Like, you go to the health crate and
he
it just heals
walks
you.
past the blue thing and his HP is up again. Like what?
Yeah.
Like what is
Oh,
that even? And
That's so retarded. And he just sees that massive storm about to hit him, and he just goes, ah! And that's it. No like hit, no like breakage, nothing. In
did
fact, he looks less injured than when the bus ran into him at the start of the movie.
yeah,
One bus runs into him, Prabha's covered in blood, like waddling to the
they
hospital.
could have done that at least, right? They could have
Yeah,
literally repeated the same type of shot, but here now he's like crawling or something, but he's still
yeah.
like, fit, and he puts his hand again and there. Something. How is this movie? It took 18 years, man. Like,
18 years. 18 years.
like,
18 years.
like the climax, especially like for a movie that's like thematically somewhat has like an interesting thing, you would expect like they would do something interesting towards then, but they just don't. They just like
Made-
conveniently resolve it. A
Yeah.
lot of this movie just seems so fucking safe. Like they didn't
Safe is right. It's very, very, very safe.
in a
Nothing
bad
too
way, in a
much.
very very bad
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
where they don't want to commit to anything. They just want to be like, it's a romance movie, but he's kind of hype. I think that's
Hmm.
one thing I can give the movie, that it somewhat commits it in a way that there are no fights and all that here, and
Hmm.
that is one thing I can accept. And that like they actually took like
Yeah,
a
I
music
guess it
hero.
is nice that like they went with it. They didn't
Yeah,
compromise on it. They
yeah,
said like we're making a romance movie. It is a romance movie. There is a scene where they could have easily had a fight and they don't.
yeah.
And yeah, that is admirable, I guess. Admirable. That's the thing. With a budget so big, with stars this enormous, with this much of a presence, why is the only compliment I'm giving this admirable? Like what? There are
Yeah,
movies that work off like shoestring budgets that have achieved more than this, that we've levied harsher criticisms
yeah,
towards.
I'm saying this big. The same reason is that like these big budget movies clearly have so many like, like they have to satisfy so many people, and like they have
Yeah.
this like hard fan bases, blah blah blah. So I
Yeah.
understand that there are limitations, and in that way, I feel like that's a cool thing about this movie. And maybe another
Mhm.
positive is I like the introduction scene with the whole train falling thing, even if it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's still a
I
cool looking thing.
Um,
I like it.
I'm disagreeing so hard. That's the second time I saw it, and it was retarded the first time.
Yeah, I
That
saw
this
it. I
manic.
assume that was the first time, and I like that in my cut where I didn't see the first 10 minutes.
In the Jakey cut of Radhe Shyam.
Yeah, I saw like a woman. He first time sees her, and the first time he sees her, she just falls, and it looked pretty. And like there was one time I was like, maybe there's something. The music and all was fine, was
Bruh.
nice.
The first time I saw it, I thought like, oh yeah, she's actually like mentally handicapped or what? What is she doing? Just three strangers. She was like, hold on to me, and she just goes falls like, I love the open air. I can't wait for that goddamn pole to take my head clean off my neck. And they pull it back, and they rightfully caught her like a lunatic and leave. So when it happened again, I was, who are you? Why?
No, I
And
understood in that romance movie type thing where it's just like a weirdo person, and she's like, I found another weirdo who likes this, and like it is so
God, I
cliche,
hate
blah blah
that.
blah, all that, but I still feel like it's an
Bruh.
okay thing, and I was fine with it.
Bruh, whenever they show the manic pixie bitch girl from hell, I want to like die. And that's what this fucking bitch was. Like, I'm so quirky and awesome and just beautiful, and I am just the best woman on earth, guys. I am so quirky. Look, my favorite task is to just like hang over the train and feel the air. Has she not heard of footboarding? Like, she can't like hold on to it and do that? Like, no, I feel it. And then she closes her eyes and she has to open them again because fucking bom bom. And when Prabhas does it, she's like, oh wow, he tied it around and he's hanging in front of me. He's an even bigger lunatic. How
No.
attractive.
Okay, let's say I would have liked that thing more if the entire movie had that like dumb, like not dumb, like weird, not dream logic, like magical realism type thing where it's just like they don't need to logically
Sure.
explain it, but it can.
Sure.
Maybe I like that scene because it sort of made me believe that that's what the tone
Yeah.
of the movie is
See,
going to be, but
yeah,
it's
if
not.
the movie was more magical realism, quirky bullshit, I can't complain because it's being consistent, right?
Yeah.
That's what the movie is going for. I can't really say like it's so stupid because the movie is that. It's like fine, sure, but they don't do that.
But the
They
movie is
don't.
not that, so yeah, I don't.
Yeah, such a cringe scene. Quirky female necessity. Yeah, Sana, she's the best female. The best woman according to writers is this like lunatic asshole who ran away from the asylum and
Who's
is just
very
doing quirky weird
emotionally
shit.
unstable. That's
Yeah,
a big
emotionally like
quirk.
it's so quirky how unstable you are. You keep accusing me of infidelity. It's so quirky. Wow, I must like prove to you now as a male protagonist that I am not cheating on you in some big grand way. Because if I do something normal like tell you, hey, I'm not doing it, it's too boring for you. You want something like wow. Wow, wow, wow. It's so dumb. It annoys me. Any quirky character dies. Tire on neck dies. It's so annoying. My God. And the fact that she wasn't like quirky and shit for the rest of the movie, the fact that she was fairly like grounded and like
Yeah,
normal, like
it's just like it's like I had like he had a cool idea for a scene, and he was like, "I'll do it," and it looked good. I'm fine. Like I
yeah,
definitely
it
do it.
looks good.
Yeah, it looks
It looks good.
that scene definitely looks good with the music and all, sound score and all looks good.
Yeah.
But then there's just like then that's another like entirely different thing, and that has nothing to do with the rest of the movie. The characters are very different from that. It's just
Yep.
a scene for the sake of a scene.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be cool if the climax had something like that, where now since he's down, she pulls him up, something, I don't know, like something, man. I just like, I don't know.
Literally anything else other than what they did. I think the problem with the movie
Give me
boils
one
down
second,
to
like my mom.
no,
Calling.
bro. Okay, bro.
Okay, you manage.
Yeah, I know that. I think the movie could have been more interesting and a bit more fun if instead of what they did, which is just this like, oh, you know, it's realistic. It's just like a standard movie. It's not anything special. The only special thing about this is, oh yeah, I was just saying like the only special thing about this movie is the fact that like, yo, so cool guys, like you know, we're going to all these expensive places. He can read palms and stuff. It's a very surface level of cool. It would have been so much better if they just reined that all in or went all out with it, just went like fucking insane, right? Like you said, if they went fucking insane with it, awesome. If they reined it all in and made it intimate, which is what the Wikipedia says, the original script was supposed to happen in a hill station.
Yeah.
That sounds great. That sounds great.
I
Like
think
it
this is
sounds
the new like Prabhas problem, I guess, where he
yeah.
after Bahubali, it's like directors come with a script before and they're like, "Sir, this is a very grounded action movie, sir, and it's a very fun thing. It's like fairly like medium budget type thing." And suddenly after Bahubali happened, they're like, "Yes, sir, this is an action movie, but in space,
Yeah,
because
God.
you have
So
money now."
big.
It's
It's
so
so cool.
dumb.
Yeah, it's very dumb. It's really, really dumb. Why? I I think like it's that budget problem. Like, oh, it's for money. It will be better,
Yeah,
huh?
it's not. It's definitely not a good thing at all. Same
Yeah.
thing happened with Saho. Saho is even worse because, like like that is literally the script of Saho is the same as the director's first movie, and I don't know how he just like convinced and bamboozled everyone with the same thing, just like a little more like instead of it being more grounded, which is why the first movie worked. Now it's like big mafia. It's like instead of him betraying like a police officer, he's betraying entire nations now. It's so
Yeah.
stupid.
He betrayed the country, Prabha.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
it's so fucking stupid.
It's very, very dumb.
And this also seems to be that way, where maybe in the beginning it was more like a medium budgeted movie where they shot it in like a hill station somewhere, which would have given it more of a personality. Maybe if even that, I'm doubtful right now, because they went to Italy and gave it no personality. Would they have done it better if it was somehow in hill station? I really doubt that.
Why I think the hill station thing works is it's sort of like you put a box around someone, they'll think of better ways to work with it. If you just set it in this like very sort
But
of
don't you
normal hill
think like
station.
if but they did give him Italy and all these locations, and he didn't use it at all. why would he suddenly make use of the hill station thing really well?
I don't know, man. You know what? The truth of the matter is, if he shot it in a hill station, I wouldn't feel so sad every time I looked at the goddamn budget. I am
Yeah.
sure it would have cost so much less to have shot it at a hill station.
Yeah,
I'd
I
be like,
think I wouldn't.
oh, it's a
I would have
hundred
been. I
crores
would
or
have been
something.
just fine. Like, yeah,
Okay.
it's a bad movie, whatever.
Yeah.
Now it feels
But
like damn.
that number haunts me. 350 crores for what? For Josier. Bruh. Bruh.
It's oof. Uh,
Or, you have other thoughts? I've worn it out.
I'm thinking. I think I think I'm done with most of the discussion part of the movie. I think it's kind of a bad movie. I think
Yeah.
it's not as shit as a lot of people. I think there's a little too much. Maybe they were just like pretending like it's the worst thing ever. I don't think it's that level. I think they
No,
had.
no. That's the problem, right?
Yeah, it's like on the internet. It's like you can't be on like the middle
Yeah.
or like the somewhat like towards the left of the middle type thing. You have to be
Yeah.
extreme left or extreme right. So I think we don't think it's the worst movie ever made. Blah 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 and all
No,
that.
no,
It's
no.
probably just like disappointing. That's mostly.
Honestly, what I think of it is that it is that kind of like movie that it is just like mediocre. It's just
Yeah.
surprisingly mediocre for all the money and the talent and the resources they had.
I
It's
would
very,
say
very
it's kind of
mediocre.
worse than mediocre, but like still like sort of in that space only. And what's been interesting is that it's clearly gotten a lot of negative reviews and negative talk from people in general. So now
Yeah.
they have been and the collections also have not been super helpful and like
Yeah.
hopeful in, especially in, we didn't talk about this one aspect of the movie, which will discuss. They were heavily catering to the Bollywood and the Hindi audience with this movie because they realized, oh, Prabhas has an audience now because of Bahubali and all that. But
Yeah.
and they had this beautiful idea of, hey, we'll cater to them and make a different movie for them just so that they will like it. Like get different composers, change the songs here and there, and like shoot the movie twice and all that. And I was like, why? And
Yeah.
it clearly backfired because firstly,
Yeah.
I think the Hindi songs are much worse than the Telugu songs. Secondly, big waste of money again. And thirdly, Hindi people didn't even care about the movie at all, which is like, wow, after all that shit, like they didn't even bother to watch this. It's like Kashmiri Files, which seems very down, sad movie, is somehow competing with this like happy romance movie. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
And
Which is so odd. That happened when Pushpa came out too, right? It's like, oh, here's a happy movie of like India's greatest cricket victory. Nah, man, fuck that. We're gonna watch this like woodcutter dude raise hell up in the trees.
but I understand Pushpa is actually way more fun than 83. Like even though 83 is so like supposed to be inspiring and all that, it's so like plain, boring. It's and this and with Radhe Shyam, it seems like they overestimated the impact it would probably have in Bollywood, and a lot of people are thinking like this might have the Pushpa run where, you know, like it opened low in Bollywood, but it's consistently stayed that way, which just like after 20 days also new people are discovering it, and it was constantly there, and it somehow made fucking 100 crores or something. I don't think this is happening for that. I don't see like a lot of hope in like the Hindi people suddenly picking this movie up. Like I think Pushpa was a great movie in general. It's a very fun movie. I still don't understand why people were so negative about the movie here. Like I fucking despise that.
Weird champ. Very weird.
Everywhere else people were appreciating the movie, but except for like Andhra and Telangana, it was so fucking stupid. People are like, it's so fucking stupid. And people are like, oh, this Radhe Shyam was actually like, oh, put this again.
We got like hate comments over it being good. Like what? Shut the fuck up, whoever you are.
I don't know about that, yeah, but she seemed so stupid. I don't
Yeah, it is a very dumb.
And this seemed like maybe it will. And now that it's not making money, suddenly they're being super defensive, and they're like, I saw some interview where Thaman was saying like, oh, critics are saying the movie is slow. they should come make the movie, blah blah blah. And I was like,
What?
bruh, come on, this is so pity. And
Childish,
yeah,
yeah.
and especially call like critics, they're saying, right? I'm like,
Mm,
bro, critics don't matter most of the time. Like when
yeah,
if people decide a movie is good, they are gonna watch it. Like Pushpa is
yeah,
biggest example. Critics were shitting on the movies a lot. Like
yeah,
there were not as many like negative reviews as this maybe, but there were a lot of like good majority of them were shitting on it, and like even
yeah,
public wise there were some people who didn't like it, but
yeah.
people like to actually the movie spoke and people actually sat and kept watching it again and again and again, and it
Yeah.
but it's not just like, oh, critics are killing the movie. It's fucking stupid. And
I think like the critics only kill like indie movies more than anything else. They
yeah,
can't
in
kill like
the
big budget
they
movies in
they
any way.
definitely can't, like fucking
Yeah.
they had no way
How
they can.
many big budget movies have we seen that have gotten like a middling critical reception and just
Middling
went
or
on to
like
make bank?
dog shit, like any Salman Khan movie you see rating is like 1 star, 2 star, and suddenly 200 crores. Like, come on.
You remember Annathe? Like that came out last year. That didn't get like a good critical reception. Fucking, it was the second biggest movie in Tamil
That
Nadu
is
that year.
that's a problem of your state. You don't need to
Hmm.
like bring up that example. You should be shameful of that. Like
No, I think like it's a problem everywhere. Like in every movie. You remember Eternals? That's such a piece of shit. It made bank and went with it.
no,
It
I don't
always
think
happens
no,
in
it
every
didn't.
industry.
Actually, it didn't make a lot of money. It didn't make
It made
no. It didn't make as much as your typical Marvel movie does at all.
yeah, not your typical Marvel
I
movie,
think
but it
it
made
probably
way more.
has the
Bro,
lowest maybe opening or
it made
something like that.
400 million still.
Yeah, but that's low for like a Marvel giant.
400 million
Yeah, that's low
for
for a
that piece
Marvel
of shit.
giant.
I don't care if it's low. Why did it walk away with that much money at all? It should have failed proper. It happens everywhere. Everyone has this like the fans. They're cancer. They will support a movie no matter what. And no matter what critics say, these fans will fight
And-
harder for it.
And the thing
And
is,
they'll make it a success.
that might work for a MCU movie maybe, but it won't work here because firstly it's coming on like it's a ludicrous budget. It's way too much for it to make up.
Yeah.
If you're just go depending on the fans, it's not gonna make its money back. You need the general audience who just watch movies
Yeah,
to also
yeah,
like
yeah.
this, watch it again and again. During pandemic, pandemic, I guess it's done now, but still like the ticket prices problem there was and all that. There's no way it's the fans can make this movie. People need to watch it. And
But isn't it a thing that like most people are fans of Prabhas? They are like, yeah, I'll go watch his movie in the theater.
but
He's reliable.
That's what I'm saying. Like they like for every star, like if they are called a star, they have like a big section of fans. But for a movie to be successful, when it's actually a big when it's a star movie, there's already like a big budget involved, just the remuneration alone. So if you want to make your money back, you just can't depend on the star's value at all, or his fans or whatever. They'll give you the instant boost and all that, but after that the film has to be good and the general audience needs to like it and come watch it. If the general audience are not watching it, it's not going to make its money back at all. There's no way. And this is the problem that's going to happen with Radhe Shyam. I don't think people are going to watch it. I hope they make their money back. Maybe it's sad that they like a lot of money will be lost on this movie, but I would be very surprised if it turns out if it has like the Pushpa type of run, and them shitting on critics makes no fucking sense. I think that may be the reason why this whole those comments might be the reason why some people actually believe that we are sort of killing the movie and shit, and that's why we got like a dumb negative hate comment. It's actually fun that we got our first one. We popped that cherry in that way. And
I don't think like what you said about the critics affecting them and like the fans not supporting them and stuff. I think like that's very true. But I think that this kind of movie, well, this one won't make his money back. There's no value in this one to go watch it. Usually, like a mass movie has like a lot of stuff going for it. Like it has romance, comedy, action, and all of that. And this has some this has like romance and like some comedy. So I don't think like this will make its money back because of that. Like as if I'm just a person who goes to the movies every time like a big star movie comes out because I'm like, oh, they give me the entertainment I want. You know, I want like something just like fun and digestible, and I want to go home and just sleep it off and never remember it ever again. then I definitely wouldn't go for this because there's no action or there's no like
Yeah,
amount of comedy
all
or
that, and in
there's
general,
nothing
the
else.
reception has been coffee poor. So why will you watch it? You're
Yeah,
gonna be like,
because my friends have gone and seen it and
and
they've
they've
said
been,
like it is
it's kind
kind
of
of gay,
bad,
bruh.
yeah. And so
It's kind of
suddenly,
gay,
why will
bruh.
they watch it? And it's the same thing. And fucking RRR is gonna come out in 2 weeks. Like, no way. And not just RRR. Next week itself, there's a big Akshay Kumar movie coming. So there's no way it's gonna make its money back in Hindi at
Oh
least.
my god, I'm gonna feel so bad if Bachchan Pandey makes more than this. I mean,
I think it will though, because Akshay Kumar is big star there. And like
that is
they
sad.
are starved of content, so they'll probably like it. I think the base story of Jigar Sandha is so good that they will like it just on the basis of that. It happened with Baghi 2 as well, where Baghi 2 is so shit, at least what you said, but the base
It
story,
is absolute shit.
yeah, but the base story of it, which is made, which is a Telugu remake, that story is good, and people might see that story and they like that. So yeah, it made its money. Do you think Baggy 2 is not a you thought it's a flop or what?
Made its money back. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
why do you think they made Baggy 3? Do you think they're
I
Baggy 2 3 is a passion project or something?
I literally thought like they were like, oh, Baghi 3, why not? We'll just try it again.
No.
Holy fuck. Action sequences and cast performances receive praise. What the fuck? Oh, fuck Bollywood, fuck critics. I hate all of them. This is such a shit dog shit movie. That's like it's just like immensely forgettable dog shit. Action bad, story bad, everything bad.
Bharat Kumar, say my name. Hello, Bharat Kumar. Shout out to you, brother.
Oh, it didn't load for me. What the hell? You see it?
Yeah, I saw it. I just came
It's
here.
not coming in my chat. It just says quirky female. Wait, let me reload the page.
Sujan, hello Sujan.
Oh, hi Bharat. Hello, bro. Sujan is also here. Hello, Sujan.
Yeah,
Have you guys seen Radhe Shyam?
and
I hope not.
yeah, and what were you saying? Yeah, Baggy 2 made money, bro. So
That's fucking scary. And it's scary that I contributed to it. Shit.
yeah, you should be ashamed.
I am so clinically ashamed.
Yeah, and yeah, it's very dumb that they're trying to make it so that like it's some like indie gem that is being killed by the critics. Like, come on, bro. Like it's a
Oh
bad.
God, no.
Like the movie is kind of bad. That's why people are not watching it. That's why
Yeah.
people seem to be negative. It's not like someone's influencing them to say it's bad.
Don't want to see. Yeah, don't watch it, dude. That's
If
if you want to know why you shouldn't watch it, just go watch the stream again. Man.
and if it is sort of, it's actually a good movie and all that, it will make its money back probably. But I just don't see that happening at all.
It's very tragic.
Maybe I don't know.
No, it's not tragic that it's not making his money back. It's tragic that this is what happened with the fucking money.
Yeah, yeah, it is tragic that way for sure. 350 crores can be spent on something more better for sure. Yeah, that's about the thoughts I have. Do you have any more thoughts on Radhe Shyam?
I'm done
You want
with-
to talk
I'm
about
done with-
Maran a little bit if you
You want me to talk about Maran? Yeah, sure.
maybe like 10
It would have
minutes.
been nice if you saw it, bro.
I didn't watch it. I don't want to watch it. Like, does anyone care about Maran?
Maran Kalkla. Yeah, Bharat. He's seen it.
Oh, okay, then you go for it.
Maran Cult Classic. Oh my god. So, I haven't seen Mafia. I love D16. D16 is a pretty
I
great
saw
detective
Mafia
thriller.
and I can say it's not good.
Yeah. So I saw Maran and I saw it with Sana. We both. Yeah, Maran was. So she doesn't watch many Indian movies, right? And this was the first like Indian movie after like quite a while, essentially. And straight from the start, the movie starts out with lines like, don't you want to publish what's fake? Your family will be safer that way. And Maran's father goes, no. If there is a truth, we must tell them. And there's like pa 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 music and shit.
Pen is mightier than sword.
Oh, that fight is amazing. Like, oh boy, that comes later. That's Maran mainline classic. Now we're looking at Daddy Maran, which is what the movie opens with. Daddy Maran published article which is very
he
bad.
played by
for-
Dhanush again or something?
No, that would have been funny. No. Karthik Naran cared a little about that at least. So you got like an actual dad actor, and he's gonna go to the hospital to drop his wife off because the wife is pregnant, and some van just shows up with gangsters, and they have like arwals and shit, and they're like, bro, if you go there, you're giving us the documents. You think you can write whatever you want, man? You think that's how the media works, man? And then Maran just goes like, oh no, Daddy Maran goes like, you go to the hospital, I'll deal with them. And like baby Maran, he's like 5 years old. Father keeps him with him to just like look at these fucking dudes who want to kill his dad. He just go like, Maran, you stay with me. And guess what happens? Daddy Maran gets fucking stabbed and cut up in front of Kid Maran.
Sana says dialogue so
Yeah.
cliches,
Yes.
symbolisms where
Yeah. Like, I thought the translation, the subtitles were kind of bad, and she asked like, is it cause like subtitles or what? And she's like, no, it sounds like ass in Tamil too. Don't worry about it. So it just sounds like shit. Then like Maran, and his mother dies in childbirth, so like Adakalam Naren is like the uncle, and he takes care of Maran and his sister. They grow up together, and Maran learns fighting because he's like, I will take care of my sister any way possible, dude. And the first half is just this boring setup bullshit of like, oh my god, he'll speak the truth that no one else will, and we need to put a cap on it. He goes for some interview in some news company. That's where he sees Malavika Mohanan. She's like the bad bitch of the office. It looks like she's always chewing gum, acting with attitude and stuff. But then the minute Maran comes out, like one cut later, she's like, hi Maran, I really like you, dude. I am in love with you. It's a very funny cut. I think you saw a very funny cut. Like, I think you saw it on the shitty movie details page, where Maran and Malavika are going on a plane, and she's drunk, So she starts like talking to him. Of course, she starts opening up in bad drunk acting, like, I like you. I want to date you. Blah, blah, blah. And the whole time, Dhanush looks so disgusted. It was so funny. He looks so disgusted with it. He goes like, you're going to keep talking or you're going to sit somewhere else. She does this whole exchange, right? Now, they're in a plane, remember? Don't you think planes go somewhere else?
What do you mean?
You get on a plane in one place, you go to another place.
Yeah.
They show the plane taking off in Chennai and it lands back in Chennai. I don't know how it got through. They literally are just back there, bro.
Wait,
They're literally just... I'm not kidding. You can open it up on your Disney Hotstar and see. They take off on the plane, flirting, blurting, kissing, mishing, all of that on top of in the plane. They cut to an extra like
is it
outer
supposed
shot.
to be like
No, I don't
is
even
it a
know where they were
mistake
going.
or something?
Yes, it's a mistake because they land back in... What plane do you know that goes and comes back to the place it took off from, bro?
It's a two-way trip, bro.
Oh. Guys, we need to refuel back in Chennai. Give me a bit. Like, what?
Bro, I forgot my keys, bro.
Yeah.
Can you just...
Malavika Mohan arc best. Yeah, her arc is the best. Like, she starts out... And I hate that they used a hot chick and she barely had any proper lines of significance. Yeah, she had no significance. She did nothing. She had less to do here than she did in Master.
Yeah, that sounds coffee sad. Like,
Yeah,
she felt like she was cut out of the movie.
Yeah, here she had less to do. At least there, right? She was acting like, oh, I am like a teacher and stuff. Here, for the first half of the movie, she has this weird like Anglo inflection on her Tamil. Very strange. I don't know why. Then it just goes away. She starts acting proper in the end. And like, yeah, that's when I told you what happens where Samitra Kanni is like the politician and he's like, this Maran guy is really fucking with me, man. I don't like him. And his sister goes like, Anna, I have a boyfriend. I am gonna go see my boyfriend that I've never mentioned to you. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell you at all. Why I didn't tell you? Because you do a background check and you'd scare him away, bro. Being like a responsible brother, right? It's not like the sister of a very controversial person who has thugs running up at him, trying to kill him. Yeah, their family members won't be in any danger, right?
I hate this cliche that a lot of movies do where it's like the villain has all these thugs and all that, but his biggest strategy will be like, let's get the weak link. Let's go make her fall in love, and then we'll
Yeah,
kill her, or then we'll kidnap her
yeah,
or something. It's like
yeah.
you have
So
people so
I
fucking stupid.
what's that movie we saw with like Shah Rukh Khan acting like a school kid?
मैं हूं ना.
Mehun, I remember Mr. Spy
He
dresses up as
becomes
like
like
a
a Hindi
teacher.
teacher.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Like he's a terrorist. He's like a
Yeah,
proper
terrorist.
terrorist, but his big plan is I will become a
I will
Hindi
become a
teacher.
Hindi teacher. And
A
there's
spy.
that amazing shot in it where he's in the Jeep and he backs away because
He's the
yeah, it's
teacher.
kind of the same. Yeah, it's not as bad here. I mean, it's not as good here, where she's just mystery boyfriend. Maran is on a midnight ride with Malavika Mohanan. Again, another thing in this movie, there are no busy roads, bro. Every time they're on a bike and they're going somewhere at night, empty road. Like they
Is it
pick
because
the
they shot it during pandemic?
probably.
I
I
think
don't
so.
know. It looks like shit though from a story standpoint.
They should have just
And
called. They should have just said like it's set in during the pandemic. So
yeah, something. They could have done so many things. And, like, this is also another dumb thing. They're on the bridge. A fight is happening because two bands of thugs are like, Maran, we will kill you like we did your dad, right? And Malavika Mohanan is there, and you think, like, oh, is she going to die here? Is that going to be his big trauma thing, right? Yeah, like Sana says, random auto conveniently shows up. He fights them off. Auto comes out of nowhere, bro. Remember, dead. City dead. No one is traveling here. Random auto wala shows up and he just goes, Maran goes like, yeah, you get in, you go, I will deal with them. He doesn't think for 1 second like, hey, what if the auto was sent by the bad guy? No. It's an innocent auto wala. That you think like as a writer, that's something you do, right? Or at least subvert. Just a random auto wala who was being the best Samaritan, he takes her away. And now you think when he gets some call, you think like, oh, Malavika Mohanan got kidnapped, right? Because random auto, right? No, the boyfriend kidnapped her, and like to find your sister, you need to go to this building. And spoilers obviously have been in case you want to watch this fucking movie. He goes to the building. Again, keep in mind the tone in this movie up till now, light, just like I am Maran, I can beat up thugs. Like I said, that pen is mightier than the sword shit. That happens in broad daylight. They have like knives and stuff. He pulls out a goddamn ink pen and he stabs them with it, dude. Like what?
it's very
And you
bad.
think like, yeah, you think like tonally it's like light-hearted in a way, right? No. He goes to this room and his fucking sister is like tied to the chair, set a light on fire. And he gifted her earrings, and you see those earrings on her ears, and she's just burning. She's dead. She's silent because she's burnt up beyond that. Fucked up. Dark. Maran
Sounds
go
so.
because yeah, I saw it and I was shocked. Like, okay, man, holy fucking shit, that is quite the fucked up thing to show. And after that, Maran becomes like an alcoholic. He's like a wasted reporter, and he drags Malavika Mohanan on this downward spiral as well. All this sounds like nice. It's not. It's so boring because it lasts a while, and then Malavika Mohanan just goes like, "You're the best goddamn reporter ever, and you better get to reporting." And then she disappears from the movie completely.
Oh.
She's just not there. That's it.
And then it
That's
becomes like a detective movie. Is it?
yeah, and it's the worst detective movie, dude. Holy shit! Like the mystery, I don't know what the mystery is. I saw it, I was paying attention, and I was sleepy as
Barbecue. It
stuff.
was funny.
Yeah. It's not funny. She was laughing. It was so fucking horrifying. Well, like the detective movie in this detective movie is so lame and not filled with consequence. One thing you'd think a detective movie should have is that it establishes the characters' mystery. So, who kidnapped Malavika Mohanan? Boyfriend. I go interrogate him. I think the problem with it is it's just so uninteresting. It's displayed in this very uninteresting, Sana, uninteresting, convoluted way. Oh, did the politician do it? Who do you think did it? I mentioned like there's a politician, right?
It's.
Who's evil? Samudragani. Who do you think did this?
Is it not the politician? Is it someone else?
No. Tell me who you think did it. Like logically in the story, if you were writing it, who is the character who would have kidnapped this girl and taken vengeance on her?
I mean, it should be the politician. I'm guessing.
No, it's not.
Who is it then?
In fact, it's a very funny reveal. Do you remember Rajan from Vada Chennai?
Okay.
My man did it.
And why did he do it? Okay, conversation with mother. Ah, yeah. Domestic conflict.
Yeah, domestic. No. Like, you know why Rajan from Vada Chennai did it?
Because he was jealous of him for being such a good reporter or something.
No, essentially, Rajan from Vada Chennai. No, that's insulting. Let me find this actually.
Rajan from
It's not.
Chennai.
It's not even like a funny joke. Well,
Let me find.
yeah. So, sorry. Yeah, Ken Karunas, right? So, no, Ken Karunas is Junior Rajan. What the fuck? Who played Rajan in Vada Chennai, bro?
Yeah,
I completely.
know.
Do you remember?
No. I'm very bad
I'm
with
looking.
cast people.
Yeah. Where is he? What? Chanchal. Yeah,
Where?
sorry, guys.
Rajan's friend.
Rajan's
Where
wife,
the fuck
Rajan's
is
gang.
Rajan?
Rajan, why is it not there on Wikipedia, bruh? Oh my god.
Actually, not there. Rajan's gang.
Yeah, everyone around Rajan is there.
Except Rajan. That is sad.
Yeah, that's so Amir Sultan.
Is that the name?
That's what it
Amir,
says.
yeah, Amir Sultan. Amir Sultan. That
Yeah,
is the
so
guy.
Amir Sultan played a henchman for Samudrakanni, and basically the reason Samudrakanni hates Maran is because Maran reported some story. The plot was dumb and could have been easy. Yeah, exactly. Maran reported on a story about Samudrakanni tampering with voting machines. And Amir Sultan was supposed to be the guy who tampered with them. And the fact that he didn't tamper with them, he got the tip off from Amir Sultan's daughter. And after that, what happens is Amir Sultan's daughter thought her dad was innocent, but Amir Sultan wasn't innocent. That breaks her morally. And when Amir Sultan goes like, "You dumbass, I'm doing this for you. I'm trying to get money to put you through college," she kills herself. She literally sets herself on fire as means of suicide. Like, I don't understand why you would do that. Why not just hang yourself or just cut your wrists or something? I imagine if you're going to kill yourself, the last thing you do is petrol all over me,
Yeah.
And that's why Amir Sultan set Maran's sister on fire, and he's tormenting Maran. He's acting like the jigsaw killer now, right? Don't forget, Amir Sultan was introduced in the third act. So in a traditional detective movie or in any movie, it seems like just a deus ex machina of a villain who just comes in and he's like, I am the villain now. When Samudrakanni would have been the more satisfying villain to have, right? Yeah, and this is the funniest part. So Maran and Amir Sultan are fighting, and Samudrakanni shows up, and you know what he does? He goes like, "Avandanada." He goes like, "Yeah," and Samudrakanni's henchman goes like, "Avandan sir, in the problem periya issue akana." So this entire plot didn't even need to happen. The main villain literally told Amir Sultan to just go beat up Maran or trouble him in some way, not set his sister on fire and cause a big issue. And Amir Sultan went and did it. Even the main villain is like, he caused this big issue, sir. And he fucking shoots him. And he walks away. And yeah, that's it. Then Maran finds his sister, and his sister is blind now. Because she spent a lot of time. No, she's alive. It was fake.
What?
Yeah, it was a fake body because Amir Sultan is not a ruthless killer. He just wanted Maran to experience the pain.
Wow, fuck me.
Yeah, and he finds his sister in a basement, and his sister has lost her eyesight because of the chemicals around there. And you think like, oh, that's kind of fucked up. That is a consequence, right? Like of his reporting something. No. Then in the next cut, she has eyes, and that's the end of the movie.
Cool. I heard that in the review of I saw Bharadwaj Rangan's review, and he said like it seemed like it had no promise from the get-go or something, and it seemed like it's not even a script, and it's just like a bunch of story ideas that they just shot.
Yeah. That's such a nice way to sum it up. Yep, it's just a bunch of story ideas. It makes no sense. I think like I forgot to mention there's an entire like scene where Maran is talking to police officers. He has a police officer friend, and you think as the audience member you're watching, you think like Maran is helping the police officers find the criminal, right? Then it turns out that he wasn't, and him and Adukalam Naren, who's his uncle, Maran and him were both fucking with the police officers and the audience as well. It's a plot twist. And leading the police officer on like a fake breadcrumb trail because they think the police officers may have been the ones responsible, because police officers are usually like footstools of politicians. This plot twist is also there before the main like Amir Sultan plot twist.
Cool. I'm glad I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I know. It's single-handedly the most boring movie I've seen this year. And I fucking hate that I saw Radhe Shyam in this the same day, dude. Like, oh my god, it was so bad. Like, after I was done with this movie, like, I thought, okay, I'll go record a reel, I'll just do that. I'll edit it and go to sleep. No, I just went to sleep. I was so
cool.
drained and I was just so sleepy. Yeah, so many unnecessary plot twists. Yep, that's it. Malika Mohanan is nowhere there. She's just gone again. Like, she's just treated like eye candy by these stories and just like tossed off. And yeah, that's Marin, guys. Don't fucking watch it. I wonder what happened to the guy who did D16. I'm still.
Gautam Menon happened.
I watched an interview about this, about like before Marin. I watched an interview he did with Bharadwaj Rangan, and he straight up owned to like the mafia thing, saying like I wasn't personally inspired by it. I see that was the problem. Like Naragasuran and Nadagamede, I think, is the third one that was supposed to come out after Naragasuran. Those were like personal scripts that he wanted to tell stories, and this was Mafia wasn't. And I thought like, oh, maybe you
Maran
thought.
Will be.
Yeah, no.
It's not. Yeah, I even saw like an interview where he was like, it'll be cool where it'll be like my film also, but it's also like Dhanush movie also and all.
Honestly, like
the
feel
trailer
so
definitely gave away the fact that this is not going to be good for sure.
The music is not all that good too. Yeah, it's not good. It's just not a good movie. And what's really painful about it, it's not so catastrophically bad that you'll remember it. It's just very forgettable, boring, bad, and it's just tragic. Because after this movie came out, he put up some story on his Instagram saying like, wait, I will tell you guys what's up or something. Because after the negative reception came out, Karthik Narayan put up some story, and I will tell you guys what's up. Bruh, it's okay. Just release Naragasuran, please. Somehow. I heard, even Bharadwaj Rangan said Naragasuran was awesome. Like, he said like he really liked it. So I'm sure it's like a good movie. Bro, he is a good director. It's just a bad phase. I'm rooting for him. He'll get out of it.
I hope he does. I really hope
he will. He will. I have faith in him. He will. Please.
I hope he doesn't just go on a downward spiral and
No, he won't. He won't. He will get. I believe in my man. And yeah, that was Marin. Don't watch it. No one watched it. No one cares. Yeah. And people who did watch it, they're making fun of it.
Yeah, and yeah, that was the stream discussion on Radhe Shyam and also a little bit of Marin. I hope you guys enjoyed some of it and enjoyed all of it, actually, everything. And we will put out in this week most probably a funny video on another Prabhas disaster. If you think Radhe Shyam was bad or something, you haven't seen his worst at all. We saw it and we will we are making a video on it. And
very painful. Yeah.
Other than that, that's about it. We will probably, I'll see if I can watch Kashmiri Files or something. If I do, and if it is good, maybe I'll make a review. I don't know. And that's about it. Thanks for watching the stream.
Thanks for coming in, everybody.
Yeah, like the video, share the video,
subscribe to the channel. Hey.
And that's all.